Well, we want to give you some, oh boy, okay. We wanted to give you some of the sights and the sounds of the fair. We're here with Apollo, a goat, and Taylor Swires, who goes to Triway High School. Taylor, tell us about your goat.
He's a year old, he's a sauna, and he does the pack class at the fair, so he puts on a pack and goes through an obstacle course.
Awesome. He's also likes to taste of my shirt, folks. I've watched all the people like Dave Letterman and that over the years deal with animals, a little unsure, but these girls are keeping me calm. We never want to see a goat in a high school football game, but it is nice to see them and visit with them at the Wayne County Fair. Girls, thanks for the time, and tell us about your goat. Hello and welcome to the Week 4 edition of the Daily Record High School Football Insider. I'm Aaron Dorkson along with Mike Plant. Mike, thanks for joining me.
Always glad to be here, Aaron.
We're excited to be here at the 166th Annual Wayne County Fair, and also happy to have Buffalo Wild Wings as our sponsor. Mike, what's your favorite thing about the fair?
That's pretty easy, Aaron. You'd have to say the fair. Food. I'm going to walk out here with some Lurch's Donuts and some taffy and maybe a lemonade or two.
I need to rank the fair food right at the top of my list too, and having a little boy, I forgot how much fun the rides are. He's coaxed me into riding some of those. You know, there's a lot to like, Mike, about the Week 4 football games that are coming up and the way our area teams are stacked up after the non-conference play. The Wayne County Athletic League, probably the best it's ever done in the first 3 weeks of the season, went 7-1 in Week 3, and they're 20-4 after 3 weeks. Chippewa, Hillsdale, Rittman, Smithville, and Waynedale lead the way with 3-0 marks.
And Ashland, Aaron, and Lexington, surprising Lexington, lead the Ohio Cardinal Conference, both at 3-0 after non-league play, while Clear Fork, Mansfield Senior, and Worcester all check in at 2-1. The OCC 15-9 overall. The big game in the OCC this week, Aaron, will be over at Ashland, where the Worcester Generals visit the Arrows Friday in a matchup of the Daily Records number 2 in Worcester and number 1 teams, respectively, in our preseason OCC poll.
There's no better place, I guess, to start with the Week 4 matchups, looking at them a little more in depth than Worcester going over to Ashland. Mike, Ashland's coming off a 16-7 win over Tiffin Columbian. They're 3-0, and Worcester's 2-1. The Arrows always seem to have an outstanding quarterback. I mean, going back 10 years, there's always that guy playing well. The latest in the line of those quarterbacks is 6'6" junior Grant Denbo, getting a lot of Division I looks already. He's passed for almost 500 yards through 3 games. Scott Valentine's team from Ashland has won 4 OCC titles, and Worcester has 3. That's the most for any team in that league. It'll be a huge matchup. We talked to Doug Haas for some comments on the game, and here are the coach's thoughts.
Any OCC game is big, obviously, but, you know, when you played, you know, arguably maybe one of the most consistent teams in the OCC over the past, you know, several years, you know, it makes it even, you know, I don't know if bigger is the right word, but I mean, it makes it even, you know, it makes it very, very important. And certainly we're aware of the fact that we've struggled against them for 9 years and need to kind of get over that hump.
Yeah, are they the one school really that has had Worcester's number the most, maybe? As far, I haven't looked it up, but it's been like 6 or 7 straight wins, I think, for them.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. I thought it was about 9. But
okay.
I could be wrong. But, you know, yeah, I think from a consistent standpoint, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, we've you know, at times played fairly well, but then, you know, there always seems to be some form of self-inflicted wound that ends up costing us the game, or self-inflicted wounds that kind of cost us the game. And so, you know, I know our kids are locked in and focused and ready to, you know, put together the work that they need to do this week. And we had a great day today. And then, you know, need to string together a couple great practices and get to Thursday and, you know, clean everything up, and then, you know, game day on Friday. So, but that's the part that we're excited about and really working diligently towards.
Thanks for the time, Coach Haas. Worcester, Aaron, last week, disappointing loss to Green, 21-7 at Follis Field in the rain. You know, first off, I think you got to give Green a lot of credit. They were a little bit better than I anticipated, and maybe even Worcester. But fumbles, penalties, missed opportunities in the passing game hurt Worcester. I think the biggest thing in that game, and the most disappointing thing maybe to Coach Haas, Worcester kind of got manhandled on both sides of the line of scrimmage, and with so much experience up front, I don't think he expected that. Friday they go over to Ashland. They haven't had much luck recently against the Arrows, losing 7 in a row to Ashland. Didn't hurt Worcester last year to lose that game as they went on to make the playoffs. And one thing's for sure, there's going to be plenty of computer points on the line as the 2-1 Worcester takes on 3-0 Ashland. In one of those matchups of two 3-0 teams in the Wayne County Athletic League, Smithville will take the ride over to Hillsdale to take on the Falcons. Aaron?
Mike, I had a chance to watch Hillsdale last week, as you know. What an unbelievable performance from the Falcons. In the rain, they routed Loudonville 31-7. I was very impressed with Hillsdale's 6'6" defensive ends, Eric Pickering and Ben Rogers, along with linebacker Luke Summerfield. You could hear the hits these guys were making in the press box. I mean, these guys aren't just tall, they're athletic. It makes it a tough defense. Hillsdale's sophomore quarterback Trey Williams, a left-hander, was very impressive throwing the ball even in the rain, and Hillsdale's balanced offense did a good job catching the ball. The first AP poll, the Associated Press poll, had some glitches, and Hillsdale was not listed in the right place on the ballot, so they are not even ranked in Division 6. I really think they would be, and we've let the AP know about it. But a team that was ranked in Division 6 all the way up to number 2 in the state, Smithville, we haven't seen that in a while, the Smithies being ranked that high.
Yeah, I think that shows not just their good start, but the name recognition the Smithies have across the state. Friday night's matchup is going to be two great defenses, the two best in the county by points allowed. Kind of an old school matchup. We won't see either team throwing the ball all over the lot. Smithville so far, of course, led by their powerful running game, fullback Cody Tipple and running back Michael Leneker, both averaging over 7 yards a carry. Aaron, the offensive line, I talked to Brent Bezanson earlier this week. He says he's very happy with the way his offensive line has played, but he also knows what a test they've got Friday. Quarterback Justin Fath hasn't had to throw the ball a whole lot yet, but he is throwing for over 100 yards a game, and more importantly to Brent, hasn't thrown an interception yet. Defense, you mentioned the matchup problems they're going to have with Rogers and Pickering. They'll also present those same problems on the other side of the ball. Smithville defensively got 6 guys between 11 and 17 tackles apiece, so they're gang tackling, running to the ball. So it should be quite a matchup, especially kicking off the WCAL schedule. We'll be back right after this break from Buffalo Wild Wings. Go, 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 go!
Buffalo Wild Wings Team Up for Kids program is proud to support the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Join us at buffalowildwings.com/giving.
Welcome back to the 166th Wayne County Fair and the Daily Records High School Football Insider, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Aaron, we're sitting here on the Double Eagle shooting this segment. Not always, Ferris wheels aren't one of my favorite things, but as long as we're sitting here, I'm all right.
This is the easiest ride there is, Mike.
You know, we got a lot of other good games this week. We touched on a couple in the first segment in the Wayne County Athletic League. We also have Chippewa at Rittman in their annual battle for the Big Chief. One of those teams, a surprise 3-0, the Rittman Indians. The other one, we're not that surprised, Chippewa also 3-0. Another big, great game possibly will be out at Creston. Waynedale will be at Norwayne. The Golden Bears off to a 3-0 start, while Norwayne is 2-0, featuring 2 of the best players in the Wayne County Athletic League. Nick Strasbaugh has 9 touchdowns for Waynedale already, and Jeremy Miller, Norwayne's All-Ohio running back. In our final game in the Wayne County Athletic League, Aaron, Dalton will make the ride over to Northwestern to take on the Huskies.
Mike, in the OCC, West Holmes is 1-2. They'll visit Mansfield-Madison. That record might not look that great for the Knights, but last year, as their fans well remember, they started out 0-3 and wound up with a league co-championship. So it is truly a new season. Madison features Tyrell Agian, a running back wide receiver. He has Division I offers from just about everybody except for Ohio State. Also in the OCC, Lexington is at Orville. The bad news for Orville is that Lexington has a 4-game winning streak for the first time since 2009. They're 3-0 after being just 1-19. Wow. Yep, you're right. Mike Triway is the 2-time defending PAC champ and will host Manchester.
Yeah, Manchester coming in at 0-3. The Titans 1-2, looking to get back on the winning track after losing last week to Waynedale. And Tuslaw will host Conneaut in a non-league game. All these teams, with the PAC being one team short, have to have one of these games. This week it's time for the Mustangs to host Conneaut.
The rest of the area schedule has Loudonville going to Crestline, Cloverleaf going to Coventry. We want to pass along this information for the first time. On October 7th, leading up to the Week 7 games, we've locked up Worcester, Triway, and Smithville coaches, and they're going to bring players for an on-location show. And also we're going to do that leading up to the Week 9 games. Mike, we've experienced a lot together, but this has been very special to ride this Ferris wheel with you.
Yeah, it's the first time we've shared a car, but we'd like to thank you all for watching this week. The Buffalo Wild Wings for the sponsorship. Make sure you read Saturday's Sports Extra in the Daily Record for all the action from Friday night's games.
Get out to the fair.
Thanks for watching and for reading.
All right, thanks. All right, woohoo! Oh, this is beautiful, Mike, isn't it?
I'm going to bomb it.
My 4-year-old son came up here. He was okay with it.
That's your 4-year-old son.